I see the player you mean. The Tricker 01?
That says the XX rays, bro. Here, I'll read it. You read the blue, I'll read the green.
Alright. Yes, take care. It has reached a higher level now. It can read our thoughts.
That doesn't matter. It thinks we are part of the game.
I like this player. It played well. It did not give up.
It is reading our thoughts as though they were words on a screen.
That is how it chooses to imagine many things when it is deep in the dream of a game.
Because perception is your reality. Words make a wonderful interface, very flexible, and very less terrifying than staring at the reality behind the screen, because perception is reality.
They used to hear voices, before players could read, back in the days when those who did not play called the players witches and warlocks, and players dreamed that they flew through the air on sticks powered by demons.
What did this
But that
player
is only
dream?
that is only their perception. This player dreamed of sunlight and trees, of fire and water. It dreamed it created. It dreamed it destroyed. It dreamed it hunted and was hunted. It dreamed of shelter. Can't stop! Get on my seat!
The original interface, a million years old, and it still works. But what true structure did this player create in the reality behind the perception screen?
It worked with a million others to sculpt a true world in the form of the and created in the
It cannot read that thought.
No, it has not yet achieved the highest level. That it must achieve in the long dream of life, not the short dream of a game.
Does it know that we love it? That the universe is kind?
Sometimes, through the noise of its thoughts, it hears the universe, yes.
But there are times it is sad. In the long dream, it creates worlds that have no summer, and it shivers under a black sun, and it takes its sad creation for reality.
To cure it of sorrow would destroy it. The sorrow is part of its own private task. We cannot interfere.
Sometimes when they are deep in dreams, I want to tell them they are building true worlds in reality. Sometimes I want to tell them of their importance to the universe. Sometimes when they have not made a true connection in a while, I want to help them speak the word they fear.
It reads our thoughts.
Sometimes I do not care. Sometimes I wish to tell them this road you take for truth is merely and I wish to tell them that they are in the they see so little of reality in their long dream.
And yet they play the game.
But it would be so easy to tell them.
Too strong for this dream. To tell them how to live is to prevent them living.
I will not tell the player how to live.
The player is growing restless. Players.
I will tell the player a story.
I don't care. But not the truth.
No, a story that contains truth safely in a cage of words, not the naked truth that can burn over any distance.
Give it a body. Again.
Yes, player.
Use its name.
XX, it's Razorbo XX and Tricker01 player of games.
Good.
Take a breath now. Take another. Feel air in your lungs. Let your lungs return. Yes, move your fingers. Have a body again. Under gravity. In air. Respond in the long dream. There you are. Your body touching the universe again at every point as though you were separate things. As though we were separate things. The perception is your reality.
Who are we? Once we were called the spirit of the mountain. Father, Son, Mother Moon perception, ancestral spirits, animal spirits, jinn, ghosts, the green man, then gods, demons, angels, poltergeists, aliens, extraterrestrials, leptons, quarks. The words change. We do not change, because our perception is our reality.
We are the universe. We are everything you think isn't you. You are looking at us now, through your skin and your eyes. And why does the universe touch your skin and throw light on you? To see you, player, to know you, and to be known. I shall tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a player with perception of reality.
The player was you, XX, it's Razebro XX, and the Tricker01.
Sometimes it thought itself human on the thin crust of a spinning globe of molten rock. The ball of molten rock circled a ball of blazing gas, and that was 330,000 times more massive than it. They were so far apart that light took 8 minutes to cross the gap. The light was information from a star, and it could burn your skin from 150 million kilometers away. Sometimes the player dreamed it was a miner on the surface of a world that was flat and infinite. The sun was a square of light. The days were short. There was much to do, and death was a temporary inconvenience.
Sometimes the player dreamed it was lost in a story.
Sometimes the player dreamed it was other things, in other places. Sometimes these perceptions, dreams, were disturbing. Sometimes very beautiful indeed. Sometimes the player woke up from one perception, dream, into another, then woke from that into a third.
Sometimes the player dreamed it watched words on a reality.
Let's go back.
Oh, it's rewind time!
The atoms of the player were scattered in the grass, in the rivers, in the air, in the ground. The woman gathered the atoms, she drank and ate and inhaled, and the woman assembled the player in her body.
What the fuck?
And the player awoke from the warm, dark world of its mother's body into a long perception, dream. And the player was a new story, never told before, written in letters of DNA. And the player was a new program, never run before, generated by a source code 1 billion years old. And the player was a new human, never alive before, made from nothing but milk and love.
You are the player. The story, the program, the shut up, the human, made from nothing but jizz and love. Milk and love.
Let's go back further.
I want Fortnite and Mark-ass Brownlee.
The 7 billion atoms of the player's body were created long before this game in the heart of a star.
Jack.
So the player, too, is information from a star, and the player moves through a story which is a forest of information planted by a man called Julian on a flat, infinite world created by a man called Marcus. that exists inside a small private world created by the player who inhabits the universe created by.
Sometimes the player created a small, private world that was soft and warm and simple. Sometimes hard and cold and complicated. Sometimes it built
Wait
a
a minute.
model of the universe in its head. Flecks of energy, moving through vast empty spaces. Sometimes it called those flecks electrons and protons.
Sometimes it got planets and stars. Sometimes it believed it was in a universe that was made of energy that was made of offs and ons, zeros and ones, lines of code. Sometimes it believed it was playing a game. Sometimes it believed it was reading words on a screen.
You are the player, perceiving, reading words.
Sometimes the player reads line of code on a screen, decoded them into words, decoded words into meaning, decoded meaning into feelings, emotions, theories, idea, perceptions, and the player started to breathe faster and deeper and realized it was alive. It was alive. Those 1,000 deaths had not been real. The player was alive.
You are alive.
And sometimes the player believed that the universe had spoken to it through the sunlight that came through the shuffling leaves of the summer trees.
And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through the light that fell from the crisp night sky of winter, where a fleck of light in the corner of the player's eye might be a star 1,000,000 times as massive as the sun, boiling its planets to plasma in order to be visible for a moment to the player, walking home at the far side of the universe, suddenly smelling food, almost at the familiar door,
Joshua.
about to dream again.
And sometimes the player believed the universe had spoken to it through food, the zeros and ones, through the electricity of the world, through the scrolling words on a screen at the end of a perception, dream.
And the reality said, I love you. Universe said.
And the reality, universe, said you have played the perception, game well.
And the reality, universe said, everything you need is within you.
And the reality universe said you are stronger than you know.
And the reality, universe said, you are the gay light, daylight.
And the universe said you are right, night.
And the reality, universe said, the darkness you fight is within you.
And the universe said, why is the screen take so long? Said the light you see is within you.
And the reality, universe said, you are not alone. Look behind you.
And the universe said you are not separate from every other thing.
Dummy stupid. What do you mean? And the universe said you are the universe, tasting itself, talking to itself, reading its own code. Are you autistic?
Tasting itself. And the universe said the same thing 5 times in a row. Said I love you because you are loved.
And the game was over and the player woke up from the perception, dream. And the player began a new perception, dream. And the player perceived, dreamed again. Perceived, dreamed better. And the player was the universe. Reality, universe. And the player was love. You are reality. The player.